Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Miriam, and as you might see in the background, I love books. I love collecting books, I love reading books, I love writing books. And on this channel I tell you about the challenge I put for myself, reading 365 books in a year. And because we are well, more than halfway through the year, I decided it was time for an update. Actually, I decided it was time for an update last week, but for reasons I had not time to post a video. But this week it's definitely time for the update video. And I mentioned in a previous video at the beginning of 2021 that I had more than one reading goal for the year. Well, my main goal is reading 365 books, and I mentioned 5 other goals, but I decided that in today's video I will show you all the goals, or I will tell you about all the goals. The reason I did not do this in January was because the video would become too long, and recently I've been posting longer videos and people still watch them, so I decided it would be alright to post a longer video. I'm not going to hold it up like this the entire time, but on my Instagram you can see a photo of this reading bingo. I always make a bingo card for my reading goals. I've been doing this for at least 4 years, I think even 5 years. Well, not for my reading goals, but I made a bingo card for my life goals. I started bullet journaling in 2016, I believe, and ever since then I put my yearly goals in a bingo, and for the last 2 or 3 years I've had a reading goal bingo, and I also have a writing goal bingo, and I have just general life stuff. And it has 25 squares, but one of them has a heart. So I'll be reading to you all the goals that are mentioned and explaining you a bit on how this is going. So the first goal is obviously read 365 books. I believe today it's Friday the 9th of July, and I'm like one book behind schedule, but well, we still have the weekend, so I'm sure I will be back on track by the time you see this video, or maybe even ahead, because July is a month in which I can slow down a bit and hopefully do a bit more reading. But on the other hand, July is also the month in which I enter Camp NaNoWriMo, so I'm not entirely sure whether there is a lot of time for reading, but I'm attempting to read a lot of books this month, obviously. So the goal next to it is read 225 new books, and by new books I don't mean freshly published books, but books I have not read before, because I love to reread books, and just to make sure that I'm not rereading all the books but read books for the first time, I have this goal. And actually I'm doing great this year. I think there are only 20 to 30 books that I have been rereading this year, so I'm doing really great in that area, and I'm sure I will meet that goal soon. Next to it is a goal I already reached. It's read an autobiography or read a biography. I read several biographies because I've been reading a lot of non-fiction works actually. So yeah, I managed to get that goal in March, I believe. Next to it is a goal I already also reached. It's read a book with a number in its title. I think I read about 10 books that have numbers in their title. I read 5 Feet Apart, I read Two Destinies, I don't know, but some books, the funny thing is that some books do not have a number in the original title, but they do have in a Dutch title, or the other way around. But I decided to go with the title that the book was given. So for example, books by Elizabeth Musser in Dutch, I believe all of them had a number in its title and the English books didn't, but I decided I would go with a Dutch title. The next goal is read 15 books from 2020. I already reached that one as well. I think I read, well, the year I read the most books from, that were published in 2020, I read a lot of, well, that's like the top year of all the years that I've been reading books from. 2020 is the one I read the most books from. And also for this goal, I picked the publication date of the book I'm reading. So if I'm reading a translated book and it was published in the Netherlands in 2020, but the original year was 2018, I go with the 2020 year because it was published in Dutch that year. It may sound complicated. If you don't understand, let me know. I will try to explain better, but I hope this works for you. Next to it is, or not next to it, but in the second row, is read 20 books from 2019. I'm almost there as well. And the goal next to it I reached as well. In June it was read 10 books that were published in 2021. I did not expect to reach that goal so soon because I was not allowed to buy a lot of new books this year, but well, I have been buying quite a lot of new books, but also there were a lot of audiobooks of books that were published in 2021 that were already available for free on Kobo Plus, and I think that really helped working towards that goal. Next to it is read 15 books by Dutch authors. No, it actually, you should see it differently. It's read 15 Dutch authors, so books by 15 different Dutch authors. I reached that goal. It was a lot easier than I expected because I had been reading a lot of Dutch authors, apparently. The goal next to it is read 125 different authors. So yeah, I hope you sort of understand what I mean by that. So read books by 125 different authors. Next to it, I have not reached that one, but I'm as you can see, this is a tracker for that one. I'm almost there, so but it's getting slower because now I have discovered some great authors and I read all the books they've published. So I'm in the beginning of the year that was going a lot faster, but I think I will get there. The goal next to it is read 20 new series or trilogies. There's 3 more to go at the moment, and there are some great series on my TBR, so I'm convinced I will get there. This third row, read 40 new authors, so authors I have not read a book by yet, and I've reached that goal. I did not expect that because 40 was quite a huge number for me, because last year I also discovered some great authors. Well, I read one book by them and I wanted to read all of their books. That's usually how it goes with me. Next to it is read 10 debut novels. That's also a goal I reached. It wasn't too difficult. I expected it to be a lot harder, actually. And then that's the square in the middle, the heart, and then next to it is read 100 English books. And that is one that I'm not doing really well on because, well, this is the tracker for it and we're halfway through the year, but I'm not halfway there. So I need to get more into English books. So books that are written in English. But for some reason I'm sort of struggling picking up English books. In my head I'm like, that's really difficult, but when I'm reading the book it's like I'm reading a Dutch book, so it does make a difference for me. But still, that's, I don't know, I will have to read a lot of books in English. And next to it is read 5 books with short stories or essays. I read 4 of those, so there's only 1 left. Hopefully I can manage to do that one this month. Well, we're already on the 4th row. That one's read 20 new non-fiction books, so non-fiction books I have not read before, because also in that department I'm really good at rereading books. The goal next to it really helps working towards that one, is read 2 works of non-fiction every month. That sounds like a lot, but actually I've been reading 4 to 5 works of non-fiction every month, which is so amazing because 2 or 3 years ago I read 4 to 5 works of non-fiction every year, so I'm changing that and I really love it. The goal next to it is a TBR list. I made a list of books that I definitely want to read this year. It's on the next page in my reading journal, and yeah, I've read more than half of those books already. The goal next to it is a goal that I want to dedicate to my dad. It's read a Tom Clancy book. My dad is a huge Tom Clancy fan and he wants me to read one of those books, and I don't know, but the books by Tom Clancy are like this big or maybe even bigger, but I found one, The Hunt for the Red October, and it's not that big, so that one is on a stack waiting to be read very soon. And the last goal in that row is finish John Calvin's Institution Volume 1. I've said in a previous video that I am currently reading John Calvin's Institution. A lot of people around me have read this book, or have not read this book, but well, I grew up in a very Calvinistic environment, and I simply want to know what John Calvin actually said on certain topics, because so many people say that he said certain things and it turns out that not that they were mistaken, but it's entirely different. Well, I've learned a great deal from it. I have to do some more reading because I'm only on like page 300 and something. It has 700 pages and then there's another volume, but I want to finish volume 1 this year. And I started it on August 2020, but then there were times that I did not read. And currently I try to read 1 paragraph a day, maybe 2. So I should be able to make it, but I have to keep on doing this. Well, in the last row, the first goal is read 100,000 pages. That sounds like an awful lot, but if you read 365 books, it's quite okay. The average page number that a book should have is 280, something like that. So it's doable. I'm more than halfway for this goal. So if I make the 365 book goal, then I will definitely make this one as well. The goal next to it is read 10 theology books, and I have to be honest, I count quite a lot of books as theology, which are probably not theology at all. But the Christian non-fiction books that are strongly connected to the Bible, I count as theology. The goal next to it is read 75 books with a title with 1 word. I'm also behind on that goal, like the same with the English books, but there are actually quite a lot of books on my TBR list that have, well, where the title consists of 1 word. So it's really 1 word. If, for example, a couple of weeks ago I read a series by Rachel Decker, I don't know how to say her name, the Seer Trilogy, and the books were called The Choosing, or The Calling, The Choosing, and The Returning, but because of the word "the," it did not count towards that goal. I'm really strict on that. And again, I choose the titles that of the books I read. So for example, Chasing Dreams, that by Deborah Rainey, the Dutch title is Dagdroom, which is one word. So I go with that one counts toward this goal. Now for the last two goals, read 5 classics. I've read 3 classics so far, so I'm sure I will manage this. It shouldn't be too difficult. And the last goal is listen to 30 audiobooks. I'm more than halfway through that as well. But this month I cancelled. I paused my audiobook subscription at Kobo Plus because I've been listening to some great podcasts and I want to continue that during the summer. So because I could not find some, well, there were actually some audiobooks that I wasn't entirely sure whether I wanted to listen to them, and maybe I'm going to get a library subscription again. I gave up my library subscription a couple of years ago because I only managed to get fines and the books were dirty, and when there were new books I used to be like number 40 in line for reservations. But I might actually get a library subscription again, and the library subscription also provides audiobooks, so I might do that instead of getting an audiobook subscription at Kobo Plus. But I'm still considering it, so if you have a reason why I should definitely get an audiobook, not an audiobook subscription, why I should get a library subscription again, let me know in a comment. And for your information, library subscriptions are not free in the Netherlands. So that's, if it were free I would have done it long ago, but it's not free. And that and some other reasons why I did not have one, but I might get one. Try and convince me. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and how are you doing on your reading goals? Let me know that too in the same comment in which you tell me why I should have a library subscription again. I hope you have a great day, and as always, happy reading.